So I have a little bit of a vlog to do, update on what's going on throughout the day. Today was Alyssa and Rob's bridal shower, and there were really only two things I wanted to touch on. I mean, they got gifts and it was your typical bridal shower. I don't know, I haven't really been to much in the way of those, but it was your pretty standard fare as far as I would know. But a couple interesting things. One was there was no booze, and I was really bummed out about that. I'm on the flask, ye flask. I'm on the flask card. I had an entire flask before, and I'm having another flask now. Unfortunately, however, I forgot to bring my flask to the party. I don't know if that would have fit in or not, but anyhow, one other thing that happened, Teresa had created a little, AC started up, a little game, and Mallory came up with one. Teresa's game, I actually became somewhat of a star with, inadvertently. It just happened spur of the moment. Teresa said, she printed out a little sheet of paper, and it said, how many of the following terms do you know? And there were 15 terms, and it had things like RAM, ROM, OS, CMOS, SCSI, HDMI, shit like that. All kinds of shit like that. And Teresa said there were going to be prizes to whoever wins, but she said, you probably already won. I said, well, what is it? And then she showed it to me, and I knew what it was. And of course, I knew what everything on the list was, and like I said, there were 15 of them. So what happened was they had everybody write down what they thought it meant, and they could also provide a humorous response as far as what things meant. Also, USB was on the list, I'll touch on in a second. So they said, do you want to go over the answers with everybody? I said, okay, sure. It was just happened spur of the moment like that, and everything was off the cuff, nothing rehearsed, obviously. So what happened was they kind of introduced me. This is my friend Jay, and he's going to go over the answers with you. So I just kind of took the floor and I said, hey everybody, how you doing? And whatever, we'll go over this. Okay, RAM. Everybody got it? Nobody got it. Okay. Well, it stands for random access memory. Now, random access memory is the amount of memory in your computer that everybody always wants to upgrade. I want to get more memory from my system. And basically what it does is it takes a standard desktop and allows you to put more stuff on it. It expands the amount of space you have, if you want a real-life metaphor, and allows you to have more stuff out at the same time. So everything is a big mess, but at least you can find stuff really quick instead of having to go in the drawer to find it. And I went over things like that, and I said, okay, HDMI, high definition multimedia interface. And I was just rattling these off. SCSI, small computer systems interface, etc., etc. And just running through these, and basically explaining what each of them were off the cuff. And this way people understood, and that way they can go to the store and they'll see something that says HDMI, and they'll say, that weird kid told me about that. Yeah, I forget what he said, but I know somebody had told me what it was at one point. So I became somewhat of a star, actually, for a couple of moments, and that was actually a lot of fun to be able to do that. And I threw in some others that weren't on the list, such as MFM, I'm having a brain fart, I'll get back to that one. RLL, modified frequency modulation, excuse me. RLL, run length limited. ESDI, enhanced systems design. I can't even remember, I didn't actually come up with that one then. And then I threw in a couple of non-computer terms, like SCUBA, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Somebody actually knew that one. And laser, light amplification through the stimulated emission of radiation. And basically here was this like fucking professor in front of all of these people, and there might have been 35, maybe 40 or even more people there, And some of them were younger people, and I would have expected that they would have known some of them. And I heard some people got like half of them on the list. There were 15 of them. But most people really didn't have a clue what all this stuff was. And I got to explain what HDMI was very briefly, what CMOS was very briefly, and stuff like that. It's actually a lot of fun. And I was glad that I was able to add a little bit to the party as such. But anyway, I'm on the flash card because I didn't get on the flash card before. That was my mistake, although that would have been a little bit different. One last thing I wanted to mention was USB. Of course, my good friend John Bruno came up with USB, the acronym for that, which is, of course, Universal Serial Bus. But I said, of course, USB does stand for another thing, and I know we're in mixed company and it's not really polite, but it is funny, so I'll say it anyway. It also stands for You Stupid Bastard. And, of course, everybody laughed at that. Anyways, I begged my pardon. I gotta go because we gotta make dinner. I got some steak to throw on the grill and shit like that. I'm on the liquors and the bugs are biting, so I need bug sprays, and have a good day.